Hi, this is James Zhang with Old Capital, and I'm here with Ford.braly of Marcus and Millichap to talk about a new deal. Ford, welcome to the show, and glad you could come on this morning. Maybe give people a little bit of your background, and then we'll jump into this new deal.
Yeah, thanks for having me, James, and it's good to be back on. My name's Ford Brawley. I work with Al Silva. We're with Marks and Millichap, the Silva Multifamily team, and for a little bit more info on us, you can go to www.silvamultifamily.com. But we're BC workforce housing, DFW centric, and we enjoy doing it. We love being in DFW. It's been a great year.
Yeah, no, you guys do a great job. Definitely go on their website, check that out, get sort of subscribed. You guys put out like a monthly newsletter that I get. I appreciate. So thanks for all the hard work on that type of stuff. Just keeping people informed on why DFW.
Yeah,
So
exactly. No,
yeah.
we revamped the website last year, and we have sales comps, market data, the research reports that you're talking about. So hopefully, everyone finds it helpful. But thanks for saying that.
Yeah, so let's jump in. So this is Bristol's 94 units, sort of right in the middle of DFW. So maybe talk about the location, and then we'll get into the deal.
Yeah, so the Hurst Bedford submarket, it's pretty well renowned. I think people always are interested in that area, but it's pretty advantageously located between downtown Fort Worth and DFW Airport. And so it's, our office is located in downtown Fort Worth, and it's, about less than 15-minute drive for us. And then it's also a little bit less than 15 minutes to get to the airport. So it's just really solid location. There's a ton of access to the rest of the Metroplex. You can see there's, 3 or 4 highways coming through right there. And it's just access to employment centers. And just on kind of a little bit more micro level, the Bristol's is located on a heavy thoroughfare that goes through Hurst all the way from Northeast Mall. It's kind of the main drag that takes you from Northeast Mall to, Hurst and Bedford. And also it's right next door to an elementary school, Harrison Lane Elementary, and it's actually considered one of the best elementary schools in Hurst. So lots of good things happening here at this location.
All right, I'm gonna go off script a little bit and just pull that up on Google because I should have done that for you here. Yeah, because I think the location is important to understand on this deal and sort of where it sits. So let me pull that up for you real quick. I thought I had a slide in there, but I didn't. So let's just pull it up real quick. So you're the apartment sitting right here, Bristol apartment, and then you're talking about the elementary school just north of the property.
Right. Yeah.
So
Completely
Harrison
adjacent
Lane.
to it.
Okay.
And then
And
there's a
it,
nice single family neighborhood, kind of surrounds you on those sides. But there's a ton of retail off of Pipeline, and there's a Planet Fitness and a Kroger just right across the street as well. And then yeah, once you start zooming out here, you can see you're very close to the Northeast Mall as well.
yeah, so you've got access. So you sort of take Pipeline down, you can hit 820, or you can go up north, like probably Brown Trail up to 121 right there. And so you've
Yeah,
got
exactly.
easy access sort of across all the major streets. And I haven't driven by. Is this tennis court still ours or soccer court?
No, I think the tennis court's across the street.
Okay.
It's for the property across the street.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. Let's jump back into all right. So this specific property, so we sort of figured out the location. Maybe give us some of the highlights on sort of the construction and sort of how this property was put together.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique property. It's got kind of a colonial traditional architecture with big columns in the front, and it's just unique. I mean, there's a lot of apartment complexes all look very similar, and I just think this one is different and quaint. But also, it's really nice. They've got 3 large interior courtyards at the property, and I think the residents really enjoy that. It's a neat look, and it's just something that's hard to come by. So having those spots there is really nice. And one of the things that a new buyer should do at Bristol's, or we'd recommend doing, would be kind of updating the amenities and making sure you're kind of matching amenities with the rest of the submarket. And having those interior courtyards allows you to go do that. I mean, you've got room for 6 or 7 amenities if you wanted it. So, and I think you had an aerial map somewhere here, James. But
I should have.
Yeah,
But
but
let's just go back to the aerial. Maybe we should
yeah,
just
you
put
can
the
see
aerial
these
straight from the beginning.
three large courtyards right here, and I think there's tons of room for dog parks, gardens. If you want to add back a pool, there were two pools, in the past. They haven't been there for a long time, but potentially adding those back, barbecue grills, playground. I mean, there's a lot you can do here with this space, and it is really quite a large space, especially this the full size courtyard on the south side.
So you sort of have all the parking around the outside, and then once you come into the apartments here, sort of all garden style apartments, and then it's really quiet in these little pockets right here, which is nice. And then you have the school right next to you, so and then the church behind you, so it's a nice community. And I think a lot of people want to once they lease there, they want to stay there, right? So um,
Yeah, they don't have their turnover is definitely below market, and it's a mix of families, younger families, obviously going to elementary school, and then kind of a mix of kind of a little bit more like senior people who just want a quiet, quaint place uh, as well. So it's just a good mix of tenants. It's always very very quiet.
All right. So right now it's sort of run as all bills paid, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, current ownership runs it at all bills paid. It has two chillers. They're both train systems. They're 7 years old. They've been well kept, well updated. They just changed some compressors out on one of them late last year, and then both of the boilers are new. And then also they've got an on-site laundry room that is property owned, so there's no laundry contract. So all that income goes directly to the owner.
All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on this page. All right. So I guess talk through, the exterior is in pretty good shape. It has the courtyards, mostly brick exterior, so you don't really have to paint it every couple years. What has the seller done on the interiors of this property so far?
Yeah, so you're right. The exterior is mostly brick, um, really clean, and they actually just painted the columns and railings as well. So you shouldn't have to do that. And they also updated the office, but on the interiors, they've renovated 49 of them over the past 4 years, and so it's just right about half. And it's a typical upgrade was like kind of the gray paint, grayscale flooring. They have done black appliances and then updated brushed nickel fixtures, and that's kind of the majority of it. Another cool thing is the kitchens have all the kitchens except for the studios have kind of a brick hearth, and it almost looks like a pizza oven or something in the kitchen that goes where the oven and range fit, and it's really kind of a neat, unique deal that just you're not going to find everywhere.
All right. Okay, so here's the unit mix I put at the top. So maybe talk through some of these units and sort of floor plan, and how they sort of lease these units as they are right now. So current rents and sort of where you think it will go.
Right. So one of the big benefits about the Bristols is that the average unit size is 918 square feet. So really, really large units, which is always beneficial being next to a school and having families. The 850 square foot one bedroom is one of the neatest floor plans I've ever seen. The bathroom is bigger than my bathroom in my house, and they've just got really large floor plans. A lot of two bedrooms and a few bedrooms as well. So when we look at this property and we say, hey, they've got these large floor plans, they've got these nice courtyards, they're right next to a school. Um, that's why they're 100% occupied. People want to live there. But we also kind of think when we look around at the cost of living at a lot of these other properties nearby, the cost of living across the street is anywhere from $200 to $250 higher depending on the floor plan. And so we dug through, and I think we'll get to this next in the case study as well, but dug through and looked at a couple of other properties nearby that are similar and that are really achieving like high premium rents. Some of them are doing granite countertops in the submarket as well. So that's always an option here, is to kind of come through. And we didn't necessarily contemplate doing that, but I think you could beat these pro forma rents that we put here by trying to go do some platinum packages on a certain percentage of the units as well.
So about $100 increase sort of from where they're sitting right now, coming in doing some interior rehabs. So talk
Right.
about some of the comparable properties to this property and sort of where they're taking rents and what they're doing.
Right. So Valley Oaks is across the street, and that property is actually not all bills paid. So we adjusted the rents a little bit to kind of to meet the cost of living. But you can see um, one of the big ones here is the most dominant floor plan at the Bristol's that 850 square foot floor plan, that one bed, one bath. You can see across the street when they've upgraded those with like granite countertops, the backsplash in the kitchen, and then everything else is roughly the same. But the difference is backsplash in the granite, and then they've got kind of the stainless steel look on the black appliances, like a little trim. But they're getting about 230 bucks higher across the street, and that's after we added 50-60 bucks to the um, utility costs over there. So it's it's a pretty good opportunity to go in and raise your rents. And then you look at Davis Park. That's an all bills paid property. It's actually the closest all bills paid property to Bristol's, just over in North Richland Hills. And they're doing really nice upgrades with granite, things like that in the property, and they're getting $170 on the one bed, $185 on the three bed, $120 on the two bed, one bath. So these are apples to apples floor plans, and we wanted to make sure that we compared similar size floor plans, but these people are going in and doing a premium upgrade on very similar properties and achieving it just right in the same neighborhood.
All right. Anything else on Verona Oaks? I know that one's a little bit west of Bristol's.
Yeah, so Verano's over right off of Booth Callaway. I think Bristol's actually probably a slightly better location, but and this is a flat roof mansard roof deal, and Bristol's I think is just has a pitch roof, but Verona looks super modern. It's a great looking property, but kind of with the exterior work they did paired with the interior upgrades, and it's pretty similar to the other two. They have some of them that are going to have granite, but difference over here. I mean, the three bed, two bath, 325 bucks higher. They're renting for almost 1,800 bucks right down the street, and then similar things, 130 bucks on the two beds and $200 on those one beds, and those one beds are 150 square feet smaller than the one beds that we have at Bristol's, and they're renting for 210 bucks higher. So I think there's just a ton of lift, and I think our rent projections were on our pro forma were I would say probably conservative.
Everybody loves conservative underwriting Ford. So let's go through sort of your pro forma. All right, come in. You don't have to spend a ton of money on any sort of deferred maintenance on the exterior. Really, just keep sort of that interior upgrade program going. Talk through sort of where income is today and where you think it could go, and then anything on the expense side.
Yeah, so when we did our underwriting, we took the trailing 3 months and annualized those, but then we did go back and on the other rental losses, since it was a cash statement and the months were up and down, we just used the full T12 for that. And so roughly their collections are about 99,000 a month as a total. The property is actually 100% occupied now, so I would expect for the next couple months. I don't think they have a unit coming due for about 6 weeks. So I expect these collections to even kind of rise. And while we're finish up the marketing and headed under contract and going to get a loan, I expect these to kind of even improve. But yeah, so we had an effective gross income of 1,194,000, and then on taxes we adjusted them to 80%, which was a pretty big lift from where they were. I think it was about $50,000 increase, or call it about 33% increase. The rest of this is just T12 expenses, except on the payroll we did adjust that to a little bit of a market norm. And then on the pro forma, we're raising our rents about $100 on that, and normalizing vacancy since we're raising the rents. But this is a well occupied submarket, and we wouldn't expect to be below sub 95 by any point on this. So we feel pretty good about our pro forma and the rent projections that we have in here, and it seems that we're pushing the income about $120,000. But there's also the opportunity to save on the water. They did the water savings when they took over about 4 years ago, but kind of as we all know, these tenants are fiddling with the shower heads, and the toilets move or get screwed up after time. So you can go back through with one of these utility conservation companies and go back through and do the renew program, and that's going to save you somewhere about $20,000 on the deal. And since it's all bills paid, that just goes straight to your bottom line.
So maybe pick up, 80, 90,000 on the income side, and then pick up another 20 on the expense side here on this deal. And yeah, I mean, it's a smaller deal. So yeah, 120,000 is a lot of money on a deal this size. So, okay.
Right.
And then, do you guys have a whisper price on this deal?
Yeah, the whisper price is 10,350,000, which is about 110 a door, 119 a foot. And this deal is actually it's 4.6 cap with taxes adjusted. So that you tell me, James, that you see as many deals as we do, but that I'm pretty sure a 4.6% cap rate is one of the highest cap rates you'll find on the market this year.
Yeah, I mean, everything at first it was like 5 to 6, and then it went to 4 to 5, and now it's like 3.5 to 4.5. It seems like on cap rates, and so just depending on the deal. So we looked at it a couple different ways. We started sort of Fannie Freddie. This deal has had agency debt before, so that is one way of going after it. Collections have to stay strong sort of through the summer. And it sounds like, they're 99% occupied. So were you looking, 7.75 on Fannie Mae or even Freddie Mac conventional? So depending on if you want sort of a fixed rate and a step down or yield maintenance, you can go with Fannie Mae. Freddie Mac, you're going to have more options. So you're going to have to be a little bit more experienced to get the Freddie Mac conventional. But that you might get in the, 2.6 to 2.7 range. With maybe a 1% prepay after a 12-month lockout. So that one has been working well for a lot of investors. And then if you need a little bit more leverage, we're seeing people go up to 80% of the purchase price, 100% of the rehab on non-recourse bridges. So that'll get you up to, probably $1 million more in proceeds over Fannie and Freddie. The interest rate is going to be a little bit higher. You might start at 3.5 to 3.75. But then you have a 1% prepay and just a shorter loan term on that. It'll be a 3-year initial term and probably 2 1-year extensions compared to Fannie and Freddie. You can go out and get 5, 7, 10-year debt on those. So, well occupied deal. It's going to qualify Fannie and Freddie pretty easily. So just depending on where you want that leverage to be, that'll determine sort of which direction you go on this one. So this deal's been out for a couple weeks. Ford, do you have a call for offers date set, and any sort of final comments on this deal?
Yeah, so we've been out for about a week and a half now. We've got the call for offers date coming up on August 25th. So a couple weeks here to look at it, and we're doing tours, as they come in. So if you want to get out there and tour, we'd love to chat with you on the deal and spend some time at the property with you. But you can reach myself at 817-932-6135 or my partner Al Silva at 817-932-6134. And I think my email is down here as well. But yeah, we would love to chat with you about the deal or any other deals that we have out. We've got 3 other deals out right now and 3 others coming in the next few weeks. So we'll have lots of inventory.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ford, for jumping on. We've worked on this property for the last couple of times, and so I'm glad you were able to jump on and give us a little color around the OM and everything. So yeah, definitely reach out to Ford, and he can get you set up with a tour here in the next couple of weeks.
Very cool. Maybe James will join us.
All right, I will. Thanks a lot, Ford.
All right, thanks, James.
All right, see ya. Bye.